Welcome back to another episode of Find the Line, presented by Against the Grain Design and Print, where we dive into real stories with real racers, the successes, the hardships, and everything in between, with your co-hosts Logan Cipala and Joe Falde. Produced by Luke Cipala, it all starts right here, right now, on Find the Line.
Yeah, and we can do anything. Mama said it's true, and I put that on everything. Mama told me one day I'ma blow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet.
Woo! Oh, welcome back to Find the Line. After a long break, our batteries are charged. We're raring to go. Luke is in his new crib. Awesome. Congratulations, Luke. Luke's broadcasting from the 914 Snap Studios tonight. And you know, Tom, somebody insulted him over this break. His van was too tall. His car was too small. Something. I can't wait to the end. We'll figure it out. This week, though, we've got a rider on that I've been wanting to talk to for a long time. The very first time I saw him run, he just destroyed the hill. And I looked over to Tom and I said, who the F was that? And Tom's like, oh, this is who it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is who it is. The number 465, Mark Braden. Mark, how's it going?
What's going on, guys?
Dude, we are so pumped to talk to you. It's, it's colder than a witch's tit here in Wisconsin right now. Yeah. Whereabouts are we catching you at?
We're in California, in Livermore.
Livermore, California. Woo! I'm guessing it's about 65, 75 degrees there right now, probably.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like 50, but I'll take it. It's better than snow.
It's almost 100 degrees warmer there than it is here right now, you bastard.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So are you getting into like primo riding weather right now for you guys?
Yeah, it's pretty good. The problem with California is always playing with, we get a ton of rain at one time and then it'll kind of leave. And we're close to the coast, so you do get a little bit of high wind in the middle of the night. So You're always playing like slick, primo, and then it starts drying off and you got to start dipping down the valleys.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, it is January, right? So I mean, there's some sacrifices that will have to be made, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hard to beat. You guys definitely have to run away. We can pretty much ride all year long unless we're being picky.
Yeah, no, you have a right to be picky. I ain't gonna go out there when it's 110. You got snakes jumping out of the bush at you. No way.
And then it's like concrete out there in the summer too, right?
Yeah, get all that blue groove.
Yeah.
Yeah, no fun. Well, dude, we've been wanting to talk to you for so long, and I to tell you the truth, I've met you and your dad, and you're just so damn fun to race with, and it's been so fun to watch you guys build up your team. But damn it, dude, I just want your story. Like, I've heard bits and pieces, and obviously, once you've seen you ride one time, your bike skills are off the charts. I mean, you are one of the most entertaining people to watch ride. I mean, if I'm walking to get a taco and I hear the 465, I stop what I'm doing to watch the ride. It's so epic to watch you on the hills. But when did bikes, when did racing, when did that start for you? Has that been your whole life, or when did that kind of start for you?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. My dad, growing up, he raced off-road, did a little bit of track, and when I was like 4, he bought me a 12-inch bicycle, and we have a shop at our house, and he demoed the whole shop. So all the concrete he just threw behind the shop, and he said, if you can ride through there and not take your foot off the pedals, I'll get you a bike. And he figured, he'll never be able to do it. And I rode through it, made it through, and he was like, no, you didn't. And he followed me behind and watched me go the whole way, and he was kind of like, So he went down and bought me a bike.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I started at Carnegie. I mean, he took me out to the parking lot by the track and just hooked up back then you had to weld training wheels because they didn't have them, and threw some training wheels on it, let me cruise around for a little bit out there. Hit some trees, some trash cans the first day.
Okay, I was going to ask you. See, I had a wall. I think, was it Luke? Were you the brick wall that you hit?
Luke hit a house.
Luke hit a house. Logan, you hit a tree, right?
I think so.
So what was your first panic, Mark? Was it a trash can?
I got a trash can and a tree in the first day. Yeah, I quit the first day I was riding. I took the boots off and I was like, "That's it, I'm done." And then like a month later, he's like, "You want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's go."
That's great.
So,
Your
but,
dad knew. He knew it was
oh
in your
yeah,
blood.
yeah, yeah. It
That's
bit me
awesome.
real young. But yeah, no, just kind of cruising around riding Carnegie for a little bit, and then I was still 5, and he used to bring me on the track and kind of cruise around. Well, he wasn't paying attention. There's like a little step down double, and he hit it, and they turned around, and I was wide open, and I doubled it, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're riding track now." So
That's
uh,
awesome.
yeah, and we started cruising around, kind of riding the local stuff up here.
Okay.
Back then, it was a lot different than it is now.
Right.
I feel like moto was way bigger. You had to be there Friday night or you weren't parking in the parking lot.
Wow.
Um,
Dang,
that's kind
man.
of died out a little bit, but
Right.
that was a NorCal thing. There's tons of series up here.
When
I mean,
when you were little, like when you were little going to school, was there other like your buds that were into it, or were you kind of on an island as far as like a bike guy when you were little?
yeah, I had a few friends that did it, but no one really in town. Some of the cattle ranchers in town, which we were buddies with, their kids were older than me, but they rode, so they kind of dragged me around on the ranches and stuff.
Cool. All right.
Um,
Yep.
but yeah, no, I mean, my dad, he was riding at Carnegie, so I started
Right.
riding with some of those kids. But
Yep. It's
right,
just funny, like even in California, millions of people. Livermore is a big town. Like where we're from, Ellsworth, Wisconsin, 3,500 people,
oh
and
yeah,
I mean, nobody has any idea that Logan and Luke are 50-time national champions or whatever, right? It's just like it was unheard of that even anybody in my class or their class, almost nobody rode. It was you were on your own little island as a little kid when you were on the weekend riding. I just think
yeah,
it's funny, like being in California in Ellsworth, we got some similarities where you had that one or two buds that knew what a dirt bike was and you got really close to them, right?
yeah, exactly. It was,
Yeah.
even in high school, there was only like 2 or 3 of us had anything done to our truck, so we were kind of like the weird dirt bike motorheads. Just
Yeah.
it didn't really fit in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
one time I wrote this is date me, but I wore my extreme jersey to
oh
school,
yeah,
and I just thought it was so cool. It's probably pink and purple, back in the day, and
yeah,
I got just ridiculed. Nobody had any idea. They thought that was the dumbest thing ever. It's like,
The
where's
pickup
your
kit.
yeah, yeah. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But man, that was the last time I did that. I learned my lesson. To stick with the
yeah,
Packers shirt. That's all that Green Bay Packers. That's all anybody cared about. So
yeah.
A
You
yeah,
gotta
one and
learn.
done on the pickup kit.
Yeah, you gotta learn to assimilate a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
I
But that was
remember, yeah, my couple of my buddies had moto vans with like the shag carpet hanging off the ceiling and stuff. I was getting in high school and I was like, dude, I gotta get one. And my dad was just like, no, like you don't. I mean, high school girls and vans don't do good, man. I was like,
Oh,
so
that's funny.
I was all in.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
How fun that you got Carnegie close by you guys, where you guys could
Yeah,
go out and you had a spot, a safe space to go out and hit your bikes around. That's awesome, man. That's cool.
yeah.
So at this point, was your dad just free riding a little bit, or was he doing any racing or anything when you were
Um,
little?
he was, yeah, he was basically just tracking me around wherever I wanted to
Okay.
go.
Yep.
He was still riding the track a little bit, and then I was like 8, and we were out. And he was riding open practice, like right when you get to the track, they run an hour open practice to break it in.
Yep.
And he hit this triple, and it was Oatfield, so it's this super deep loam, and he came up a little bit short, and the bike stopped, and he broke his femur. And
Oh,
that was it. That was the last
yikes.
moto.
Ouch.
Yeah, that'll
Um,
do it.
yeah,
Yeah, you don't want to do that twice. That
nah,
sucks. Yeah.
yeah, for
How
sure.
many how many tracks did they have for you guys to go and ride, like, when you first started getting into that? Because I know it's died down big time, but I was always curious, like, how good it really was back then.
Oh, I mean, this is almost like LA. This is kind of the Mecca. We had like just, I mean, Hangtown, East Street, Oakfield Club is like 5 minutes from my house.
Mhm.
There was probably 7 tracks, and then during the summer they would do the fairground races where sometimes it would just be like a one-off fairground race, like a regular one, and then other times they'd build like a full-blown arena cross track, and then those guys would offset their days. The promoters would work with each other, so we'd be practicing Wednesday, race Friday night, race Saturday night, go ride somewhere Sunday.
Jeez.
It was
Nice.
nonstop, yeah.
That's cool.
So when you were little, when you were at Carnegie, how young were you when you first started being competitive then? Because sounds like you guys were just going around bombing around, but was there a point where you and your dad thought, let's enter into a race, or when did that kind of come about?
I was when I was 5.
Oh, you started that young. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome. Dang.
I rode for maybe a year, and then we started racing, and they had this whole GFI AMP was like a north-south series that they would combine, the California series, and there was a couple guys in there. I mean, you guys know Jesse Nelson?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Jesse,
absolutely.
he would come up. He was from Templeton. He would come up, and we'd race together. So I grew up with
Wow.
him since I was like 6. And then they actually started doing like amateur nationals and stuff. Started talking to my dad a little bit. So then we started dragging around to the amateur nationals.
Wow.
That's
Dang.
cool.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it was cool. It was definitely, I'd say once we got like 80s, then we were doing world minis and stuff like that. And then you got into big bikes and, Texas, wherever. Just kind of dragging around that it's like hill climbs, you have
Yeah.
those few events and it's just, that's where
Right.
you're going.
When you were little, little Grom, and you guys were going to these races, was it something where you guys would just wake up super early and go in, or were you camping for the weekend at the tracks, or what did you guys end up doing?
Yeah, we were camping at the tracks.
Because I
We
got to think that you saw some adult stuff if you
Oh
were
yeah.
camping at those times.
Oh yeah, there was like the party crews. Everyone was motocross. I will say is a little bit more laid back than the hill climbs. But
Right.
it is not that we didn't have money, but I was sleeping on a moving blanket on the floor of the car
Yep.
trailer.
Oh,
know,
geez. Yep. Hell
and
yeah.
and especially moto. It's you pull up and you're pitted next to like a show hauler or the double stacker trailer, and you're like, okay, it's it's a little bit of a difference,
Yeah, exactly.
but
It doesn't matter what form of racing is, there's always somebody with more money, right?
oh
Like you're going to lose the battle if you're going to try to win that race, right?
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes it all that sweeter when you beat that guy. You're like,
Oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
slept on the
Hell-
floor all
absolutely.
night, still got you.
That builds character too. You got to be able to be down there at the chain lube level, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, waking up
That's
high
cool.
because all the gas fumes are in the trailer.
Yeah.
But
Were you more sketchy in the bicycle in the pits or on the bike when you were little? What was more hair raising for you?
dude, bicycles all day. We were
Good.
just terrors. We're digging holes all over the place. The promoters are coming out yelling at us, fill those in. You're gonna get the motorhome stuck in the parking lot. What are you doing? And then we were big on pit bikes too, but I was never allowed to have one because Jesse, when he was like 9 or 10, he got his thumb caught in the sprocket to cut his thumb off. And my dad was
I
like,
didn't
hard
know
no.
that was on a pit bike.
Yeah, it was on a pit bike when we were kids.
Damn.
Dang.
So the pit bikes are a little bit out, but yeah, we had the bicycles. It was a big thing back then for unicycles. I don't know if you guys had that.
Oh, jeez.
We never had
No.
unicycles.
Yeah, that was like a training thing back in the day. It was you learn your balance, you could do all this, and there's 30 of us riding unicycles all over the place.
Now I've seen it because when we were over in France, I was sitting next to Logan Mead, and a guy came by on a unicycle. He's like, "Hey, can I try that?" I'm like, "No way you can rip that." He just hopped on it and took off. I was like, "That's impressive. I had no idea."
Yeah, they're tons of fun, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we
I
used to
can only
ride them like
imagine.
a BMX bike.
I can only imagine being at a motocross when there's like 20 kids with unicycles rolling around.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
some smart dads though, because you ain't gonna do some really sketchy jump on a unicycle. Like a bicycle, I know how sketchy they get in the parking lot. Unicycle, you're not gonna get as much air on that as a bicycle, right?
Yeah, they were definitely trying to keep us out of trouble. I mean, we had like once we got a little bit older, we figured out, you can hit rails on these, and they got a little sketchy.
Oh.
But they had, you guys remember the moto sticks, the big pogo sticks with like the dirt bike spring in them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those were a go. People were doing flips on them, cartwheeling in the parking lot. People were getting hurt and, playing around at night for the next day.
Right. Oh man. Yeah.
Um, that, and then after the amateur nationals, the good one was the guys that went to Texas that had the motorhomes. They'd all come back the next weekend, and the entire back bedroom and the shower would be full of fireworks. Then we'd light those off all night.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Oh. Yeah, like as a kid, going to the races, like the racing is huge. Like I
Yeah.
just think it's so good to build like young people, boys and girls. But it's what you were talking about right now, running around causing hell with your buddies and being in a safe spot where, you know what, your dad knew nobody was going to mess with you because your whole family is around you to protect you, right? That's the best
Yeah.
part about being at these places is you're in a safe spot where your kids can bomb around. And man, I'm so jealous I wasn't there to be part of these memories. That sounds like awesome. I want a unicycle now. Tom, let's go get them.
I know. I might have to.
Let's bring this back up. I can break a
Pretty-
hip on one
It
of those.
sounds. I'm intrigued.
But how cool. And then when you guys were doing this, a lot of these, were they local or how much were you guys traveling? You said we were doing some nationals. Were you staying in the West or where were you guys going with your young career here?
Yeah. I mean, mostly the West. We did, I would say, there was Freestone, there was Oak Hill, those were in Texas. World Minis was in Vegas, and then it moved to Mesquite. That was kind of around. Dodge National was Hangtown. So a lot of stuff in the West. I did qualify 4 years in a row to make it to Loretta's and got hurt every single year.
Oh,
No
Like,
way.
like 3 days before we would go.
oh no.
So I forget, they
Bummer.
had the area and then the regional. And I stayed back in intermediate for a while, for I think like 3 years, and I qualified first 3 years in a row to go race it, and I got hurt every single year, like within weeks of going.
Damn
my
it.
God.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Dang it.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
That sucks.
I just stopped going for it. I was like, dude, that race is bad luck. I'm like, there's no way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
There's
Dang it.
A kid up here that I ride moto with a little bit, he had just had bad luck year after year. And I remember, I think it was last winter or the winter before, I asked him, I was like, oh, you doing any big races? He's like, no, I'm not doing any big races until I can stay healthy for a whole season.
Yeah.
And then, he hasn't gotten hurt since. So must be working for him. Same
Yeah.
deal.
I don't know if it's, I think all dirt bike guys are a little superstitious for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because, especially when you come up to the nationals, you're just finding that extra little edge, pushing every half a second you can pull, and it ends up biting you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, as an amateur, when you're young, I mean, that's the scary part is you're finding your limits, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't understand that you're maybe riding over your ability at the time because you don't know what that is. And
Yeah.
then you're riding with Jesse Nelson too, he's a freak, right? I mean, that guy is unbelievably talented. So you probably always feel like you got to push it or whatever. That's got to be a fun and terrifying way to kind of go through the ranks, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there was always, even though I did like decent at the amateur national stuff, I was always like a little bit out. I don't know what it was, but like we went to Oak Hill one year, and I remember I was sitting third, and they'd make you line up against these number plates for gate pick when you're in like pre-staging, and the first 15 bikes were all factory riders, and I was sitting in third, and it was the stock class, so that was my practice bike. I had like 400 hours on it, all the plastics brown, that was white, and I'm just like, I guess just keep pushing. Yeah.
And then all their dads were like, don't get beat by that guy, right? Like you can't,
Yeah.
we didn't come here to get beat by him, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
It was, I mean, it was good though. It's definitely, I think motocross, dirt bikes in general, they're character building,
Oh, for sure.
It-
When
it's-
you're going to this, was it a lot just you and your dad or your whole family, or how are you guys traveling to these?
Yeah, just me and Pops, just loading up.
Dang.
He spent hours and hours dragging me around everywhere. At least twice a week practicing during the week, and then leave pretty much Friday night till Sunday night, gone every weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was saying, I don't know how he did it. You know, he would be, especially with the amount that I was riding, just blowing up bikes, and he'd stay up till, the next morning, not sleep, rebuilding the bikes all night, and then just hop in the truck, drive me to the track, unload the stuff, and then just fall asleep for a couple hours, and he'd pop out somewhere and be watching. It
That's
Uh,
was wild.
gnarly. But it's also, I mean, it's crazy, but it's not surprising to me to hear that. Just seeing like how you guys have worked together at all the races that we've been to too. Like you can still see that he's dedicated and into it,
Oh yeah,
which is
I would almost argue he's more into it than I am. You know, he could not leave stuff alone. He's always got to be doing something.
There was probably never a question how much your dad loved you, but there was probably moments if you wondered if he loved racing more than you, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm
yeah,
just kidding, but
we
you know what I'm
we
saying.
we've got into it for sure. We're both I don't know. We love the sport, but we're definitely. I know I am a sore loser, and I know he don't like losing either, especially after putting all the time into it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
but there's been some days for sure.
Oh yeah, that's great life lessons though, right? You got to figure it out. That's what out of this, I guarantee you that Logan probably hates losing just as much as you do, and it's almost not more about winning. It's more about not losing. You
Oh
don't
yeah.
want that feeling. Where I'm
No,
pretty good at losing, Mark. Like I can lose. Like we can play cards and I can lose. I'll be fine with it, But if I
yeah,
win, I make a big deal. That's why I don't think I've never can win because I'm not too concerned about losing. That's my problem.
yeah. It, I mean, especially with hill climbs, it's kind of changed a little bit because like motocross, you make a mistake, you still have 30 minutes.
Right.
So it's like
Hmm.
you're constantly, if you dab your foot, you're just grinding, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll get him back, I'll get him back. And there does come a point in your head where you start pushing, you can see the guys slipping away and or pulling them back in, and that you can feed
Hmm.
off of that. But hill climbs, it's like, you know, you dab your foot, that's gone. The whole run's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly.
That's what's tough. It's got
Yeah.
to be hard too, like just from what like your experience too, because I know it bugs me and I'm nowhere even near, but like showing up and putting in being as good of a moto guy as you are, and you get to these hill climbs and there's people that you just know if you were doing any other type of motorcycle racing, they wouldn't hold a candle to you. And then you just keep getting beat over and over hill
Oh
climbing times. It's
man.
just such a weird and odd sport and bike handling.
Yeah. Now
It's
I like it though. That's what I like about it is it's such a
yeah,
weird like niche thing.
yeah.
Um,
We'll
anyhow,
talk more about that, but I just wanted to talk a little bit more. Like now you're in amateurs when you're little, and then we know that you rode pro motocross. And how was there a point when you were at a certain age where you just decided like I'm gonna make a concerted effort to try to see how far I could go? Like because it seems like nowadays kids are like freaking 11 or 12 and all of a sudden they're asked to make that decision.
yeah.
Did you organically just keep trying, or was there a point where you really pushed to try to get to that pro level in motocross?
Yeah, I mean, I always I don't know why, but I've never liked smaller bikes. I've always liked the bigger the bike I can get on, the better it is.
Mhm.
So I got up like I got my 125 when I was 9, a CR 125. I got on a 450 when I was 12.
Woo.
Um, so I think I was probably like 14 maybe, and I turned intermediate, and something kind of it clicked. I started pacing off people, and then I started pulling in some of the factory guys, and it was, when we were riding the amateur stuff, I'm like consistent podiums or top fives, and I was kind of like, okay,
Nice.
this is something that could be possible.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I would say, 15 probably. It was
Okay.
all out, pretty much everything we did was, training, racing, riding. Um, yeah, pretty much all high school. And then when I graduated, I think I had turned pro when I was 16.
Okay.
Um, and then when we graduated, it was just no job. That we're gonna give this all it's got.
Right. Awesome.
That's
Wow.
cool.
That's really
Um,
cool. What was it for support? Was it pretty much just you and your dad, or did you have some support from any companies, or was there something that kept your Howard? Because I mean, damn it. I mean, that snowcross and stock cars are probably the only thing that are more expensive than trying to do what you were doing. Like
Yeah.
that had to be draining. Was it harder? Because where you're at, there's just a lot more involvement in racing. Like here where we're at, there's just not a culture. Like we go to Pennsylvania and there's just people all over that are willing to help support. How about you guys? Did you find some support from anybody or how did that work?
Yeah. I mean, we had a couple people up here that would definitely like throw some money, throw a gas card. I would say, 80% of it was my dad pulling through.
Right. Yeah.
But we did have we had just local guy over the hill gang guys or older dudes that they were into riding and they had a company and they were like, hey, like
Mm-hmm.
you're a write-off. Do you want to go? And it was like, yeah. Yeah, a lot of machine shops around here. And then there was actually a guy that was in the HVAC trade that he was working a ton of overtime doing startup and he started throwing money at it.
Nice.
So kind of a group effort. And then same thing. It's not that we didn't have money, but you could definitely tell from what the other guys had. There was, we didn't have
Yes.
everything. So the promoters and stuff around here, once I got to a certain point, they let me practice for free.
Nice.
If I was doing local races, they let me race for free.
Great.
So anything for seat time,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I love that's where I just kind of wanted to ask. That's so cool that the promoters of the races were helping a little what they could. I mean, I think it's to be encouraged, because
Yeah.
you're a great man, an adult, and you've went through the hell to get to there, right? And I just think like now as we're men and adults, like that's how important it is to support young kids that you see putting that effort in, right? And it
Yeah.
don't take a lot to make a big difference. So that's cool that you got some support on the way.
Yeah. And it definitely, it leaves an impression on you. You definitely want to pass down what you can.
Right.
Yep.
There was kids around here that were even if it wasn't some big, even if I seen some kid that was ripping around and then I kind of figure out who they were, I would go out and ride with them and kind of bump them or nudge them like,
Oh yeah.
okay, you're in this line. I'd ride on the outside and push them down the inside line. Like you should be there. You should be here. Cause that's what
Yep.
the pros did for me too, back in the day. I
Right.
trained with a lot of people, but there was also just the local pros that see me out there that knew me. They would
Right.
pull in with you and push you. And it's definitely in NorCal, there is like a stigma of if someone comes up, you're everything is so SoCal focused. If you see a kid coming out of NorCal, you'll see guys pushing them and kind of bumping them and like, come on, this is for us. It's a community
Cool.
deal now.
Yeah, that's
I've heard,
awesome.
I've heard that a lot, like just through podcasts and different people, but like all the NorCal guys seem like really tight when it comes to the pro guys that are coming up or new guys that are just like really proud of anything like that. You can just tell. It
Yeah,
seems like.
It's awesome.
it's I don't know. I don't want to say it's a pride thing, but it is like you can
Yeah.
do it in SoCal where all the factories are, but there's a lot of the old school guys did come out of NorCal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's we have everything here. But unfortunately for the kids that are coming up now, everything's been more tame to like the over the hill gang. So all the tracks are a little bit smoother. That's who shows up. That's who pays. I get it. The promoters are doing what they do. They're bringing in money.
Right.
Um, I mean, when I was growing up, it was like no mercy. It was just water the track. You're hitting jumps like 11 ruts going off the face of it.
Yep.
50s and 60s getting stuck in the corners and places. It was great training. It was great riding.
Yep.
Wow. What an experience to go through that and to be able to turn pro at 16 and have all those races behind you. When you got out of school and you graduated and you just started going, 24/7 on it, did you catch another gear? Did you feel like you got when you even got that less distraction, more ride? Did you feel like you even ascended again?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was cruising around, kind of trained with everyone. I went down and stayed with some guys in LA, and I did train down there for a little bit. Because the pros are on rotations down there, so per day, whatever it is, like it used to be Tuesday was comp edge, and you'd pull up all the factories there, all the guys are riding. So if you have someone there with a stopwatch, you're running times looking like how far am I off this guy? How far am I off that guy?
Mhm.
Glen Helen was Thursday. That was like a bloodbath. The braking bumps would be like 3 foot tall.
Oh, balls.
Um, but yeah, no, for sure. I felt like I was right where I needed to be.
Yep.
And actually, I got a spot in a semi to go race all the national stuff.
Cool.
Um, and my typical luck. 2 weeks before Hangtown at Oakfield, they had a step up and they turned it around to a step down. Well, the guy had watered the face on it, and I came out, scrubbed, the peg hit, it high-sided me off the side of the jump, and I pretty much fell like 30 feet backwards right to the water truck road. Um,
Oh.
yeah, I
Ah.
remember I was in the air going backwards, and I was like, it's a dream. When I hit the ground, I'll wake up. And yeah, sure as shit, I woke up to my buddy standing over me.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
man.
that was a broken collarbone, broken shoulder blade. My shoulder fell out. I broke my eardrum.
Ooh.
And I was knocked out for like a decent amount of time. Probably, I mean, enough time for them to notice I wasn't getting up, run halfway across the track, and be standing over me.
Damn.
Um, so that definitely set me back. It was the bike still left in the semi. That was gone. Because we were like, it'll be fine. 5-6 weeks. I'll hop back in, keep going. Which I did. It was just a little bit more delayed because I couldn't pass the concussion test for the impact concussion test.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
shit.
kept taking it, and I couldn't pass it. And I was like,
Damn
oh.
it.
Wow.
So yeah, I started that year in, I think it was Millville or High Point.
Okay.
So
Nice.
flew
Wow.
back east, did that. Yeah, moto, the 450s were cool. It was definitely, it's when you get to that level, you can tell like everyone's at that level. So
Mhm.
everyone, you could definitely tell depending on where you are, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Like you'd go back east and it'd be a mutter, and those guys that ride that stuff all the time would land wide open with like 3 foot of mud not let off.
Wow.
That's what they're used to.
Right.
Mhm.
So definitely you gain more, I would say, respect for the sport in general and for
Oh,
the riders.
I bet.
But yeah, no, I mean, the outdoor stuff was fun. And then I kind of took a break because I was like, I'm not kind of here. Maybe I'll set back a little bit. When I broke my eardrum, still to this day, if you notice, I ride with earplugs in.
Yeah.
Mm.
When you put them in, it slows the fluid in your ears from cycling around.
Huh.
If I don't have them
Wow.
in, I'll kind of like start spinning a little bit.
Really?
Um,
Dang.
Wow.
yeah. So I took a break from that. Still race all the local stuff. I went back and raced like Mammoth and some stuff like that. That was fun. And then I got back into it. I did Supercross the wrong way. I was
The wrong way?
the wrong way. Yeah.
I was looking forward to this story because I got it at one of the hill climbs this spring. So
I
I
had
wanna know
a
how
ready.
Supercross is the wrong way. You got to fill me in here, Mark.
well, you're supposed to go train on Supercross tracks.
Okay.
Well, I seen on the AMA thing, like the reg, I was like, oh, I can sign up for my Supercross license and I don't have to point out. I was like, yeah, okay. So I signed up for it and I told my dad, like, hey, we're racing Supercross. And he's like, well, it's in like 4 weeks. And I was like, cool, get some A-Kit on the way. So we got suspension, super stiff. We put it on the bike, and one of our buddies that used to race hill climbs, he's got a local track just out on his property. And he had this big catapult double. And I went out and just OJ'd it by like 30 feet out in the flat. And it didn't bottom out. And I was like, okay, yeah, this stuff's good. Like, we can trust it. So then I showed up to Anaheim 2, never rode a Supercross track. So I'm out there just kind of cruising around, hopping some of the rhythms, kind of figuring stuff out. I hit the whoops once. And I stopped on the side of the track and just looked at the leaderboard and I waited for that guy. And that's how I hopped on behind that dude. And the very first Supercross triple I ever hit was under a tunnel. So you turn to go underneath the tunnel. You can't see the lights on the lip. It was just like, you couldn't even see the top of the lip. It was just, you're just looking at a wall. And I just chased the guy through the tunnel and left. And I was like, hope my legs aren't broken. And I made it, barely, like
Holy
barely
balls!
skimmed it.
Damn.
Supercross is definitely it's a lot of skill, but it's some balls for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Huh.
Yeah, because I remember going the year before and I was up on I was in the stands and I was like, that's not that big. I remember that day when I did the track walk, I was like, dude, what did I sign up for? Like, this is sketchy.
Yeah, as a hill climber, I can't handle it when I can't see the landing, but if you can't even see the lip where you're taking off, that's a whole different story. I've never even
Oh,
heard of that
Mhm.
before. That's
yeah,
terrifying.
it's hairy. And the thing people don't realize is especially the whoops. The whoops are like 36 inches, and it's not how tall they are. They're 10 feet from peak to peak.
Mhm.
So
Damn.
when you leave one, if you watch Supercross next time, watching in slow motion, you're jumping 3 or 4 feet to hit the next one.
Wow.
So when
Man.
you come out of the corner, it's just wide open.
Jeez.
It shift up one gear, whatever you think you should be in, and just whack it. Hold on.
Damn.
Um, I
Incredible.
did qualify. I think I qualified 17th that night.
Wow.
So
Amazing. That's
yeah,
awesome, man. Damn.
it
What an
was
accomplishment.
it was uh, probably one of my dumber ideas, but it was fun.
Did you just do that one, or did you do multiple?
No,
Super.
I did A2 Oakland. That I did the first year at the Niner Stadium.
Okay.
That was a little weird. They had some funky dirt. I don't think that's why they raced the Niner Stadium anymore.
Mm.
We were doing the track walk and it was like construction dirt.
Oh shit.
So I remember I was walking with forget who I was walking with. But I think it was Barsha or someone was walking on the other row coming towards us. And he literally pulled out like a 8-inch piece of cast iron pipe that was broken off in there, and then it was connected to a construction rope, and we're just looking at it like, the fuck
Not
is
good.
this? No, I mean, if someone were to fall on that, it's all bad.
That's like people's fucking lives out there too. It's
Yeah.
like, God dang, that's scary.
Yeah, for
Yikes.
sure.
I mean, even if it's a perfect track, it's scary enough, but then you're dealing with basically landmines in the dirt. That's not good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I did a little bit of Supercross. It was that I would say I would have enjoyed it more if I was on a 450.
Okay.
Mhm.
I had outdoors, I got to race 450, got up, if you race enough, then you get to bunt.
Okay.
250s and Supercross, you have to, I think it's a point accumulation to where you can race 450.
Okay.
And, I'm not exactly a small dude.
Right.
So being on the 250 is pretty much, you come out of the corner and it's to the stop to hit all the triples. And that wasn't really
Wow.
wasn't my gig.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This, like I said, it was a great experience. Glad I did it
Yeah. No, that's cool. Wow.
for sure.
I mean, so this is all right after high school then that you're doing the Supercross and all this stuff?
Outdoors were, and
Okay.
then took a break, went back again to racing.
Okay.
I actually got in the union and got my job.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And then I remember I was working for like a year and I was like, dude, I don't know if I could do this the rest of my life. Went to go renew my outdoor card and I was like, let's just give it a go. We're going to race Supercross. I'd kick myself if I didn't do it,
Right.
knowing I had the chance to do it.
Oh, absolutely. No, good for you
So,
for knowing that too, man. That's the scary thing just to throw your feet in, That's good for you for trying.
yeah. So
When
I
when you
guess
s-
I was like a little bit off of Jake. We had just missed each other.
Okay. All right. Wow.
So
Cool.
Are you about his age too, or not? Or is he just a little younger
I'm
or older?
I'm 31. I don't know how old he is.
I think he's 33 or 34.
Okay.
When
Yeah,
you
because
said you got into the union, what union or what were you doing, or is that what you're still doing for work, or what was that?
I'm in we do HVAC, so we do
Oh,
commercial,
okay.
industrial.
Okay.
We're technically I'm the pipe fitters union. I think we were talking someone else that is in the UA.
Well, I'm a tile guy, but I think
Oh, dog.
Dog's the HVAC guy, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
PD does some HVAC stuff and stuff
But
like
you work
that.
with PD, right? Or not?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
me and
you
Petey
work
work
with
together.
PD? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool, nice.
So I get to see him every day.
That's pretty awesome. People
Yeah.
have no
You.
idea the crew that's coming to their house.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean, I turned the team into a menace pretty much. It's all moto guys. Yeah.
That's
It's
great.
really good until we get arraigned, and then it's like the bosses are calling around like, "Hey, where is everyone?" I'm like, "We have no service at Carnegie, dude. I don't know what to tell you." Like, we're out riding.
Your air conditioner is going to have to get fixed a different day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's a great profession. That's you can't get much better. Everybody needs heat. Everybody needs cool, right? So good for you guys. That's a great one to be in.
Yeah, especially around here because we got all the .com stuff. So we mainly do like semiconductor plants and pharmaceuticals.
Okay. All
So
right.
they always need us.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's killer. Well,
Yeah.
that's, I mean, I think it's kind of cool. We've talked about it a little bit, but like trades and like I'm in tile, you're in HVAC, there, when I was, I'm an old as dust, but when I was a kid, people like us didn't make good money. But now in my lifetime, I'm seeing a transition, and like my kids who are just little, when they're adults, you're going to make more money in the trades than you could ever dream of, being even what Logan is, like an engineer. I just think that it's such an advantage. And then America, right? Like there's nothing
Yeah.
better than having the opportunity where if you have the will and want to go start your own thing where you're making your own dollar, that's where the trades have just like this huge advantage, So I think it's cool.
I'm a firm believer you can thank the good old American education system for that, because they just made you feel like a piece of shit if you weren't going to go to a 4-year college,
Yeah.
at least when I was in school.
Yes. No.
So
For sure, yeah.
they created the demand for unions or trades, I guess.
I
general,
remember,
but
I remember
it's crazy.
arguing with my guidance counselor because he was saying how, if you wanted to be important, you had to be a doctor. And I said, if you're a doctor, the problem with being a doctor is you have to go to a hospital every day to get a paycheck. But if
Yeah.
you own a company and you're an excavator, you just have to have your employees go to work in order for you to make money. And he did not see that logic at all, right?
Yeah.
He just didn't understand that logic. And I was like, that's where the education system maybe has a couple downfalls, right? Is
Yep.
there's other opportunities out there. Now I
Yeah.
still go to work every day, so I guess I haven't learned myself, but that's the advantage you have, right?
Getting there at least.
Yeah, getting there. But no, that's cool. That's meant that you got in. And then who kind of inspired you to get into that, Mark, when you got into the union?
The guy that was sponsoring me while I was racing.
Really? That's
Yeah, 'cause
awesome. Very cool.
I seen the money he was making, and we had 2 garages at my dad's house, and he was building a '69 Camaro in one of them, and I was like, "You have a house, you're building this car, you can sponsor me?" I'm like, "Yeah, it can't be that bad."
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta look into this.
Yeah,
That's pretty
exactly.
good logic. Hey, this guy's got enough extra money to help me pay the race. I'll just go and do what he does.
Hell
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, that's killer.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's actually the one I said that I wanted to get in, and he was like, "Oh, you should have told me a week ago." He's like, "I just got this other guy in." I'm like, "Who was the other guy?" And he's like, "Oh, Petey." I'm like, "Fucking come on."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
That's cool. So you got into the union, you're dabbling in supercross and outdoors. And then were you trying to juggle all that? Were you like in your early 20s now when you're doing this?
yeah, I was probably 20, 21.
Okay.
Kind of bouncing around trying to do all of it. I had already started or wait. Yeah, I'd already started racing hill climbs by this time.
Nice.
Um,
Okay, cool.
and then I kind of dabbled. I did some off-road stuff there for a little bit.
Okay.
Um, and then pretty much after that supercross thing, I was looking at it. I was like, I'm like, I don't really want to do supercross. You're not going to fit on a team unless you're doing both. You can't just really be an outdoor guy.
Right.
So I kind of got rid of that, and then I started leaning a little bit more back into hill climbing.
Okay. All right.
And then just riding, just
Cool.
playing around, cruising around up here, doing some of the local stuff.
Awesome. I think we're gonna have to take a break here pretty soon, but I wanted after the break to kind of get into how you got going on the hill climb. But with the moto stuff, did you continue to keep trying to do that, or did you just kind of put a pin in it at some point, like when you were getting to that age? Because it's got to be hard when you were so all in, right? You know, as a young Grom coming on up, and then when you're in your 20s, like the hardest thing in the world is to know like what you want to do. It's like it's the worst thing. You just have no idea. How
Yeah.
did you handle that? Like when you were doing some, did you still try to do what you could do when you were working, or how did that go with motoing and working and after you dabbled in Supercross?
Yeah, I mean, I still push for a little bit to keep racing. It was kind of a thing when Jesse got paralyzed.
Oof.
He got paralyzed, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "Hey, like I had just started in the union," and he was like, "This is all we know. Like, what are we gonna do for work?" And then I'm looking at some of my other buddies, like I think Sealy had just done like his first retirement, and it was like, you're in the industry. That's all you know is the industry.
Right.
So, and then some of the local guys, like they had retired. Well, now they're working for gear companies and flying all over the US, checking all these places. And I was like, that's not really for me. So I kind of I stepped back and just, the trades take
Yeah.
care of you.
Hell yeah. No, and I just that's so badass that you found your way into that. That's not
Yeah.
easy. It's not an easy thing to get into, and that's awesome that you have that avenue to go down. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually kind of lucky that I got hurt before that, when that crash, before Hangtown. That's when I had a little bit of downtime, and I was like, maybe I'll just put my name in and see what happens. And
Right.
I got a spot, so I just kind of ran with it.
Oh, that's killer. That's so cool. Man, I'm loving this story so far, Mark. And I got to hear more. And well, after the break, we'll back up a little bit. I'm really interested to see. I want the word for word conversation when you told your dad that I want to try this hill climb thing, because I got to think that wasn't an excitement for your dad. But we'll find out about. Can you hang on? Can we go for a break here? We got to hear from our sponsor. Can you hang on for a little bit? Awesome, man. All right, well, chill out. We're gonna hear from ATG Design. We'll be right back.
Against the Grain Design and Print is proud to announce its partnership with Find the Line. Against the Grain works with clients to build their business and racing goals through the design and production of premium stickers and decals. We offer one-of-a-kind subscriptions for a flat monthly fee that can save you hundreds of dollars. Custom mailers, white label printing, motocross graphics, and anything else you can think of, we have you covered. It's time to print your passion. Visit atgdesign.co or email sales@atgdesign.co.
Hey there, Find the Line listeners. We will always be looking for partnerships for Find the Line. Please email findthelinepod@gmail.com to see how we can work together to grow your brand. Once again, that's findthelinepod@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to it.
Woo! Oh yeah, ATG Design. You gotta look fast. You just have to look fast in this game, right? There's no options. And the man that can get it done is sitting right there. Our producer, Luke, can make you look so damn fast. He can make me look fast. Some thinking impossible, but it happens. It happens. But Mark, awesome, just unbelievable. Your life story so far coming up, and just being in bikes. You and your dad sleeping on the trailer, destroying that unicycle and bicycles in every parking lot. Love it. But when did you who I guess I should say, or how did the hill climbing kind of become an option? Did someone come to you, or is it something you guys saw, or kind of how did all that go?
Yeah, definitely. When I was younger, I mean, we're right here next to Carnegie, so they were
Right.
always going on. I did go out to one when I was younger. We had a sponsor that was out there with a vendor pit.
Okay.
So I kind of watched when I was a little kid, and I remember seeing the open bikes cruising around, and I was like, those things are crazy. Here rambling through the parking lot, and then
Hell yeah.
got a little older, and I was hanging out with Petey, and he was like, "Hey,
Nice.
a couple of my buddies are coming over." And it was the first time I met Kevin and Shane.
Nice.
So they rolled over, and we were all kind of hanging out, and they were kind of trying to talk me into doing it. I remember I was looking at Petey's stuff, and I was just like, I'm coming from like clean cut motocross stuff, and I'm looking at the Bandit, and I'm like, Dude, this thing's
Was
got
this
like
was this the troll era? Were there trolls on these
dude,
bikes?
troll strapped to the fenders. They had like the American flags and stuff on their chest protectors. Petey was wearing like some t-shirt and shorts and stuff. And it was like, it was Thor gear, but it was like the off-road stuff.
Right.
And coming from motocross, it's like over the boot pants. What what you guys doing?
You backflipping this bandit or what?
Exactly. It's like, and, we were looking at the open bike, and I'm just looking at it. It's got like 8 different sets of plastics on it. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I'm doing the hill climbs. Like, no. And they keep trying to talk me into it. And then I seen some of the other bikes, and I'm like these aren't much better. Like, and then Petey started dragging me around. We started riding a little bit more together. And ironically, the first one that I did was at Carnegie. And I remember thinking, everyone kept telling me, oh, you need extensions. You need extensions. And I'm like, I'm not putting those things on my bike. I'll go up this thing stock. Like, there's no way. So I left, and I think I made it to like 10 feet from the top of the hill.
Dang.
And everyone was like, no, dude, you need extensions. I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to do it. And I'm like, headstrong moto guy, like, no, fuck those things. I'm not putting those on my bike. We got 2 Allens holding them on. And I rode that day. And the next time, everyone kind of hunted around and looked, and they were like, hey, we found you a pair of bars. Or I don't know if you remember Lefty's extensions he had.
Mm-hmm.
So I put a pair of those on it, and kind of cruised around, and I did one more, and then hanging out with the Incast guys, I met Adam, and Adam had the Jigster hanging around, and he was like, hey, any chance you want to ride this thing? And I was like, oh yeah, I'll give it a shot. I remember getting on it, and it had like, you had to hold down 2 buttons for it to start. And I'm already kind of nervous because, like, the Jigsters you don't fit on, so like the motor's hanging out of the sides, your knees are in the back of the carbs,
Right.
and I'm like wiggling the buttons back and forth to get it to start because they have no connection, and then it lights off, and I'm like, dude, what am I thinking? Like, I'm gonna die on this thing. And I did a couple burnouts on it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's pretty fast. And we got it in the box, and dude, the second I let the clutch out, like I was 10 feet from the bottom of the hill, and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. This is like, we have got to do open bikes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I actually did pretty good on it the first couple of rides. I think I was so scared of it that it was just straight and smooth. Don't hit any rocks.
Yeah.
Don't mess up. You don't want to bring it down the hill.
Right.
Yep.
And I did pretty good on it. And then I started doing the Carnegie ones more often. And that's when Kevin, Shane, and Petey, they were doing some of the out-of-state stuff. So they were like, hey, do you want to go to Montana? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot. Or do you want to go to Idaho? So they started dragging me out. And my dad at this time was still like, yeah, I'll put the stuff together, but no, I'm not going. He was like, just go by yourself. I'm like, okay. So I'm out there. I mean, still,
he's hesitant at the best.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, because this is pre-clean hill climbing. This is still
Right.
now
Right.
everything is a lot cleaner. Everyone's gear matches. The bikes are all done up. The pits look good.
Right.
This is still, down and dirty.
Right.
So I was pretty much, I mean, still, even to this day, when Logan parked next to me at Washington this year, and I was like, I'm looking at my bike, and I'm over there like, hey, can I measure your bike? Like, I still don't really understand at all. I'm like, how far off am I? But yeah, Petey's really the guy that got me into it, and he helped me out. He still helps me, But we were like,
good.
I was complete left field, just didn't have the right gearing, not the right paddle, and then they're like, "Oh, take all the air out of the tire," and I'm just like, "What the fuck?
What?
Like, that's a flat tire. That doesn't work."
Right.
Like,
Yep.
so it took me definitely a little bit to get adjusted from that, but it was yeah, I would say it was heartbreaking for sure. From
It's got to be kind of fun though for someone like yourself, where you just got that 10,000 hours on a bike, right? Like you've missed your entire life. It's been about putting time on bike. You've been doing all this stuff, and then they put you on that Gixxer, And now it's got handlebars, a twist throttle, and a clutch, but it's something different, right? I mean, that's just kind of cool that here I got all these skills that I've worked on, and now here's something new I get to learn, right? I mean, it's kind of fun. Like, it's got to be kind of fun just to learn something new again when you already have all these skills to start with. That's got to be kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely like, I don't know if you guys remember being a little kid, but it was like the first time you
Yeah.
got on a 450, it was like, this thing's insane. Like
Yeah.
nothing
Yep.
will ever have this much power. And
Yeah.
then being on that bike for so long, and then you get on the Jigster and you're just like, I still, even to this day, when I hop on my open bike, it's still like the same, like, this is
Mhm.
insane. Like,
Right.
That's what I tell everybody that has quit Hillclimb or not continued until they got on like 700s or open bikes. I'm like, you just didn't get to the point where it gets fun.
no,
Yeah, it's not fun riding a 125 or 250 or 450 up this dumb hill,
Yeah.
but
Right.
you start putting some real power to it, then that's when it gets exciting.
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Austin Tyler's dad said it, and it's the best saying ever. Once you
Mhm.
ride the open class, all the other classes are foreplay, right? Like that's all we're there for is to ride the open class, right? That's what
Yep.
it's all there. We're all there for that one thing.
yeah, for sure. It's, yeah, I mean, pretty much. I sit around all day long, like, when are we going to start racing? When do we pull them out? You know,
Mhm.
Yep. And
uh,
if you're idling through the pits on your freaking open bike and you're not fucking jacked, you're not a human being. Like it's
Yep.
just the thunder and just the feel of them. Like when you're I feel like I'm in my spot. Like that's where I belong is riding this freaking bike. There's just no other feeling than open bike. Well, I haven't rode a nitro bike. I'm sure it's even better on a nitro bike, but I'm not that much of a man. But I just think it's so cool that you knew right away that you had that same feeling that all of us have had, where that's home. Like we're so pumped to keep chasing that dragon and getting that feeling every time, right?
yeah, for sure. I mean, not, you know, there becomes a point with the bikes now, like my open bike is like, okay, maybe you can have too much power, but
Mhm.
it's still like you'll never feel that snap on anything else of like letting the clutch out, and because it's extended, it just goes like,
Yeah.
doesn't wheelie,
Yeah.
doesn't want to. I mean, it might pick it up a little bit, but we're going forward like quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just the versatility too is like once you get into the open class, then now it's like you were saying, you're going from tires to paddles to bolts to chains, and it's like there's all these options, and you read the environment. Like I've watched almost every setup except for a chain wheel on Logan's Buell, and it's not the same every place, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what's so fun is that when you're in, it's the same thing in minor differences moto, like if you're going to go a scoop or whatever different, but it's so dramatic in our sport when you're going from an MX-14 to an offset Viper to a freaking bolted Dominator to a chain wheel. I mean, those are dramatic changes that will
Yeah.
greatly affect the performance of the vehicle, and it's so fun like having all those options and playing that investigator where you're going to try to find that best setup. And I think that's what I love too. Like in the open class, it's not the same bike. It's not the same setup. You never exactly know what the perfect setup is till the end of the day. Right. I mean, that's
Mhm.
what's
Yeah.
so kind of fun about our sport.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, I would say the hill climbing stuff is hard because moto, you ride so much that your test and tune, you know what it's going to do. You know, like
Yeah.
I can pretty much hop on a track and tell you like, okay, we're like a couple clickers off. Maybe I want the front end to set in here. No, this track's more rutted. We need to make it stiffer so it'll lean. Where the open bike, first run there is no practice. That's your run.
Yep.
Right.
So
Yep.
you're always hunting around to find, and it took me. Now I'm getting a little bit better, but like you're saying, all the tires. That's another thing. I was just so deep in moto that I fought everything all the way through. Like
Mhm.
he was like, "Hey, put a paddle on." And I'm like, "Dude, this thing's making all this noise behind you, hitting the ground. Like I can't fucking concentrate with this." And then I seen the bolts and the chains, and I'm like, "Dude, just because there's a metal fender, that tells you don't do that." Look at me now. I got chains.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're happy,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, great. Yeah.
Gotta have chains to be happy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Uh,
great.
when you were getting kind of in, and is your dad, is he fully bought in now? I mean, we heard
Oh.
the hesitancy at first, but is he fully bought into Hillclimb now?
Oh yeah, he's deep. He's he is the NorCal motor guy. So like
Hell yeah.
Wolfson, PD, Kevin, all those guys, they all run his motors.
Fuck yeah. That's
Big into the
awesome.
450 stuff. We did build that 1290. Typical his fashion, he likes everything. He's very meticulous with everything. So
So cool.
he built the frame for that, built the swing arm for it. They have all these like, crazy ideas of ways to change it. One of our buddies actually builds chassis for like drag cars, like full tube drag cars.
Nice.
So he took it up there and they reinvented the wheel.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
So yeah, he's deep. And I don't know if you guys have seen, we're doing an 890 right now.
Yes.
I was just gonna ask if he was messing with us or if that was happening.
That's Heavy's got it right now. He's doing the frame
Okay.
on it.
Nice.
So
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
Heavy's
man.
Heavy's starting to learn how my dad operates. It's kind of like, hey, I want this, and if you're like, well, maybe in a couple days, nope, I already did it. Never mind. Just like, okay. Oh,
That's cool.
yeah,
I
he's
just
starting doing that.
it was awesome seeing your dad post about the 1290 stuff when he was building that, because it was like there wouldn't be anything for months, and then there'd just be a picture with like almost no caption, but just this beautiful craftsmanship on everything.
Yeah,
A man of few words, but every picture was unbelievable to see.
Yeah.
for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah,
It was freaking cool.
yeah. I mean, if you actually like go deep and look at that thing, there's like a bunch of weird cross bracing and stuff he put in. They built the swing arm all weird, and then that guy builds drag bikes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know any of the Harley stuff, but like Arlen S's.
Oh yeah.
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 So the frame jig they built that bike on was the frame jig for Arlen Ness. That guy used to build the frames for like his first bikes.
That's cool.
Dang. Wow. That's
so-
impressive.
Yeah, he's got all this like crazy knowledge, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna move this up and down, this up and down."
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Hey, it's not a drag bike, okay? We're going up the hill first of all. Like, it doesn't need to be
Yeah,
all
but-
pretty. We don't need all this guessing, but it is.
It makes a difference though. Those drag guys, they know how to transfer that power, and having not when things don't twist, it transfers the power. So that's super valuable for making sure that bike gets everything you want down. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. We were having a hard time doing the electronics on that thing. I mean, I was, Hebby is definitely good at helping out.
Right.
He helped us with some of the geometry on the frame. We took a lot of stuff off of Petey's bike.
Cool.
That's pretty much why he's doing the 890 now. I mean, he had it set up.
Right. Yeah. No.
But the electronics we fought. I mean, I'm a little hard headed, so I was like super. No, I'm gonna make the KTM ECU work. So I'm over there working all day, coming home at night. I'm trying to learn how to hexadecimal code so I can
Oh,
ping the
God.
ECU, and I'm like writing all this stuff to it. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Oh, the headlight turn on. Okay, cool. I want this thing to turn over. So I'm like pinging it a bunch of stuff, and then finally we gave up on that and went with the standalone ECU. That
That's
was
crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
we probably have like 300 something hours into that bike by the time everything was
Wow.
said and
Yeah.
done.
It's crazy. Insane.
yeah.
Yeah. But now you got the knowledge, right? I mean,
Got
that is just crazy. I mean, some lessons cost more than others, right?
For sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that wiring harness inside and out. I can tell you
Right.
anything that's wrong with it, all the stuff I changed on it.
Right.
But I kind of, I was watching Petey and those guys. They have the mechanical systems,
Yep.
and when I show up to the track or to the hill, I just want to be focused on what that is.
Right.
I know in the early days we had like the CR500 and you were jetting it, and
Yep.
it was very temperamental because we were trying to make as much power as we could. So like,
Right.
5 degrees, we're moving stuff up and down, chasing it all day. I
Yeah.
didn't want to do that. So I wanted something that was, it's got O2 sensors on it, tunes itself, everything's done.
Mhm.
You press the button, it turns on, you press the button, it shuts off.
That's amazing. Yes.
So-
My dad is he's always wanting to try different stuff, and he's mentioned like the mechanical shit, and it's like I just can't get myself to even consider trying something different when I know exactly how that deal is going to run every single ride,
Yeah.
and it's not going to change. Like you just can't beat that consistency.
Yeah, I mean, and that's definitely one of the things, especially, that I've learned from this sport is it's like we were saying, it's you have whatever at the most 20 seconds. So if the bike can be as consistent as possible, you can take out everything else, and then it's really just on you or whatever your setup is.
Right.
If you're chasing around jetting or this or that, it's just another, it's another thing to throw in the equation. If you whack the throttle because you think you're in a hop over something, now it's got a hiccup for a second. That's not all of us are blessed like Logan. So some of us have to actually, plow through some stuff.
Right. I don't know if you saw that last video clip that he put together, but he's had some rough goes too.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a fail video you put together there, Tom.
I was pretty proud of that. I
That
had to
was a
dig
good
up
one.
some old ones.
Did the gel nicks inspire that?
100%. Yeah.
They have been their postings have just been off the hook on Twitter.
Yeah, they have been. Have you been seeing those, Mark, or not?
No, I haven't seen those on Insta.
Jelnick Brothers on Instagram.
Yeah.
They've got like years and years of just stupid crashes of them doing. I mean, it's like them trying to water skim a pond or a swamp and landing head first, and then casing doubles on the old Hillclimb bikes. It's just great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll check them out.
So they inspired that, and I've been trying to find the time to finish it for the last month, and then finally had some this week.
That was awesome. Back up just a second, Mark. So when this is a couple things that I was really excited to talk to you about was when you kind of started getting into hill climbing. Obviously, we've been talking about the open bikes, but what were some, and maybe you don't even know for sure, but what were some things about hill climb that kind of appealed to you? Like, is there different things about it that kind of appealed to you when you started to do it to want to go more into it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely coming from racing, and then the further I got into racing,
Right.
To come to hill climbs and you're at the pro stuff, and it's so much different when even when you go to the pro stuff now, someone's bike breaks, there's like 7 people scrambling to find parts and we're making your stuff work. Where,
awesome.
Moto was like, oh, that guy's bike broke, he's out.
Right. Yeah.
There really was no it's
Brotherhood.
It's a lot more. Yeah, it's like a family, all the racers together.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I asked Logan, hey, what's your setup? What am I doing wrong? He's racing against me, but he's like, watching me, he's like, you're way too long. What are you doing back there? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna shorten it up then.
Yeah, what was that? You asked my length, and I was like, I don't know, probably 73, 74, and you're like, I can't go shorter than 76.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna want to change that.
Yeah. Oh, we got that good and figured out.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely just more laid back. All the racers are a lot cooler to each other. And then you can still have a job and go out and work and come back, race. You're not, when I was at All Out, I was riding my road bike like 15 miles to the gym during CrossFit, and then getting back on the road bike, riding back to the house, and then loading up, taking the bike out, riding all day, coming back, washing the bike at night, and do the same thing the next day.
Wow. Yeah.
And then Hillclimb, you can have 15 beers the night before and still win the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I did do some stuff that probably wasn't the best. Like I remember in 2014, I raced Carnegie on, I think that's right when I was like riding Adam's bike. I had raced Carnegie Hill Climbs on a Saturday, and they were like, oh, what are you doing next week? And I was like, oh, we're racing Supercross. But I went out and did, I think that was Oakland. And I was like, yeah, fucking, whatever. But yeah, I mean, just even from that, yeah, I mean, just the family aspect, everyone's cool. And especially I got into it when Skip was running
Cool.
Carnegie.
Yep.
Or George.
Yep.
Was running Carnegie. Yeah, I mean, a lot more laid back. Everyone's kind of looking out for you instead of trying to get up on you.
What about like the cost basis of it? Because like a lot of people are nervous about like how expensive certain things are, but like coming from moto aspect, I gotta feel like hill climbing must almost feel free compared to what you
Oh,
guys have to put in.
yeah.
Is that a would you say that it would be? It's not, you're not asked to put out so much. Would you say in hill climb?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, I think to make the
Mhm.
night show of Supercross, you get like, I want to say it's like $300. And you're like,
Yeah, it's
cool, that
crazy.
doesn't pay for my tires or my gas just for the bike, let
Right.
Mhm.
alone the hotel, the gas to get there, all the riding I do during the week. Um, Hill climb is, and if you build a 450 and you build an open bike, the open bike you can ride for 10 years or whatever, or
Yes.
longer.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
450, you're only putting, what, 4 minutes on it a weekend?
Yeah.
Yep.
Where riding moto, you're just beating, especially when you start making power and you're racing. I mean, I was going through a chain of sprockets in 4 rides,
Right.
That's crazy.
tire.
And I'm not racing at Logan's level or anybody like that, but like that's always been my argument is a lot of people are just freaked out about how expensive the 450s are for hill climbing, but I
Yeah.
just think it's a freaking bargain
Yeah.
because even like if I have a 23 450 and I bought it when it was expensive. I think I paid like 11.5 for it. I took it to Kirk. I probably got another $8,000 into it there, plus graphics, everything else. So
Yeah.
you're, just under 20
Well,
grand to that bike. I'll probably ride that bike for 10 years and I'll probably sell it for $4,500. And
yeah.
it's going to cost me like $1,200 a year to own that bike. I just think that's a deal, And then not to mention like when Thomas Jolly from France wrote it, he's like, this bike is incredible. I mean, they're like, that's just my 450. He was like, I want this in France. Like
Yeah.
that, like they could not get over like our race 450s, like
Yeah.
what freaks they are. Cause I was
Mhm.
like, I go, it won't stop pulling. Like when you go, like it just keeps climbing, And I just think it's awesome. And I think there's a lot of value there, but that's just my opinion,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, something I forgot to mention earlier. I think the turning point for me to start hill climbing was those guys kept, oh, come out, come out. And I remember Petey went to like Great American or Big Sky or something, and he came back with this stack of cash. And I
Yeah.
was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's 10 grand. And I'm like,
Yeah.
from racing the hill climbs? And I was like, I remember, yeah, I think that was like for sure like we're fucking, get some
we
stuff
got to
together.
find this out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Petey had some good years back then.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much when I met him, that was his, he was
Yeah.
peak, just
It was
killing it.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like those days, I was young, right, when at that time, and there's 4 classes, and 2 classes would have 80 to 90 entries, and the other 2 would have 120 to 140, and Petey was probably winning 3 out of the 4 very consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
And those guys, I mean, Petey and his dad, I mean, they're a lot, they're just vibes, just cruising off vibes the whole weekend.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And
It was awesome.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, Austin and his dad, they're,
Yep.
always in always in a good mood, kind of cruising around, just hanging out.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, money wise, we all complain about money, regardless, pretty much. No matter
Right.
what you make, it's never enough.
Right. Exactly.
But comparative to motocross, it's insane.
right.
You can
Yeah.
almost break even almost every time you go out. Motocross, it's just gone.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a unique and lucky perspective because we've got a few fast moto guys in Minnesota that I'm fortunate to ride with and get my ass kicked by them every time I'm on the track with them, and they pass me like I'm standing still. And I'm like, they're racing or trying to race some of the pro supercross and motocross races, and it's like, I guarantee I win more money than you do racing in a year, and you can kick my ass every time you swing a leg over your bike.
Yeah, for sure.
So I get humbled, but I'm like, we're lucky that way.
Yeah. For sure. And it's, I don't know, it's more realistic. Like I remember when I was training, all the time. We were at Comp
Mhm.
Edge one day, and I laid down like the fastest lap of my life, and I was like, check the time. What am I against Villapoto? They run the times, and he was like, yeah, he was still 2 seconds faster than you. I was like, fuck, dude. Like,
Wow.
Yep.
you know. So
Yeah. One more thing back to paydays, because I feel like your best days at Hillclimb are still ahead of you, Mark. Like I feel like you're still on the come up, figuring everything out. But have you had any big pays yet? Have you had a day where you're like, oh, that's freaking mint in hill climbing? Have you had one yet or no?
yeah, I mean that's kind of what got me out to Montana and Idaho.
Mhm.
That was probably 2015, maybe 2016.
Okay.
Rockwell was at Carnegie, and I won every class. You know,
Nice.
that was like,
Woo!
you know, it wasn't that much. I think it was only like $4,000, but I was like, oh, we're going
Still.
now.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
You know?
awesome.
And then that was that year that Great American was like, oh, $100,000. I was like, we're in.
Yeah.
You know, everyone load up. We're
Yep.
going.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, that's cool. I
Um,
think that there's an opportunity to have big days like that come around more regularly in hill climb, because
Yeah.
we still are a spectacle, and we're gonna get it figured out where that opportunity is there, and then got the right people in place. But it's just exciting. It's like you're not asking for hill climb to pay your mortgage, right?
no, yeah,
But if you can go have a freaking great time with your buds and have it be cost free, I mean, when do you ever get to
no,
go golfing and come back? I mean, unless you hit a pull tab or
no,
you're scratchy, right?
yeah,
I mean, it's
Yep.
like if someone like yourself or Logan or even Luke, you're talented riders, like you can almost go to expect to be breaking even a little under, a little over. That's freaking epic to go
yeah,
racing with your buds and have that opportunity. I just think in our sport, that is an offer that is so underplayed. And all I hear from people is we need more money. We need more money. It's like, I get it, but it's really good. Like we have a lot to offer as it is. And yet we all want more, like you said, but man, it's just the cost basis is freaking killer. I think,
yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
for compared to any other sport, you know, a couple of my buddies race micro sprints, and they dump all this money in their cars, roll the cars every couple of weekends, and then when they do good, I'm like, oh, cool, what'd you get? Oh, a tire. And I'm like, yeah, I should
right.
stop
Yeah.
complaining.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'd say right now, like for us, the Devil's Staircase now next year will just be a race.
Yeah,
I'm going to the freaking Devil's Staircase. That pay there is ridiculous, right?
yeah,
Then
Mhm.
North Dakota, the Brick Mine in Fordville that weekend, one of the best weekends in the summer for overall purse. But then like the West Coast ones for Washington or the Battle of the Bluffs, there's money there, but you have to hit that cash climb at the end. If you
yeah,
don't hit that, then it's like a normal purse, right, Logan?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what
Pretty
kind of
much.
sucks about those is one guy gets
yeah.
5x of someone else,
Oh,
and
oh,
Yeah.
trust
get
me,
it,
I was
man.
watching it the whole time. Every time we come back, I was just like, this guy's stack is just growing in his hand. I'm looking, I'm like, but Sunday I was like, all right, we're even, we're good. Then I think you won the cash climb this year, right?
At Washington,
Yeah,
yeah.
Washington. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
I was like,
That was a sweet one too.
that's a good feeling on the way down the hill
Oh man.
for sure.
I've been in so many of those and just watch all that money slip away too.
Yeah,
Nothing will beat the power wheelie at Idaho when the shitter guy wrote the $8,000 check, though.
Mhm.
That's still, I know that was, what was that total pay for you, Logan? Was it
It was like just under $9,000, I think,
one ride, Mark?
for
Oh,
one ride. Yeah.
that's dude. That yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot. Has Hillclimb ever had like we used to call them like bounty hunters or top guns, when people from the crowd will throw out money and it gets
Mhm.
into this bidding war, and whoever gets you on the crowd, if you will pull a third, or they pull a third of the purse.
Ah.
That used to be big in moto. They would do the
Yeah.
bounty hunter, and I don't know how you exactly do in hill climb, but depending where you finished, first was in last place, second was right in front of them. They'd stack
Mhm.
you on the track like that. And then they would have a bidding war, and dude, it would be like every weekend would be like 7-8 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was
You gotta go. The cool one is in Billings. Usually once a year they do the Calcutta.
Yeah.
So they take all of the entries, all of the entrants, and split them up into like 4 or 5 person teams, and then they do bidding wars on each team. So they go to the
Yeah.
bar like the night before the race starts, and all these different people buy teams. Like I've seen teams go for like 3, 4, 5 grand before,
Yeah.
and then they win all that money back. None of it goes to the racers, so
Yeah.
it'd be obviously more fun if some of it went to the racers. But
I mean,
yeah, like it's crazy. And then you get all of the whole purse of that Calcutta. So like once in a while, if some dude tears one off that people didn't expect, they might have bought the team for like $500, and they win like 5 grand or something.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
I mean,
It's fun just to be a part of it.
yeah, I mean, even at the race, you don't get anything. It's cool to get the crowd in on it, and
Yeah,
and if you had money in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
You're deep.
exactly. Yeah,
And
no, that's cool.
Jordan Schmidt's dad would always go all out, and that dude,
Yeah.
it was so fun watching him because he knew the teams he'd want, and he would pay up for him. And him and Cord and I think Kevin or whatever, they'd get in some bidding wars. It was so fun just to watch the locals because they'd want their certain guys. It's awesome.
Jordan has no problem filling the shoes for his dad now.
Good.
Yeah, it's fun though when the crowd gets involved and they can bump up that purse. I mean, like Washington, that was all crowdfunded too, and it was massive. I was like, I got that crown bag and open it up. I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, they definitely get a pull there. I mean, Montana too. It's Great American. They get a great pull there too.
Mm-hmm.
So then, being in it now, Mark, and you guys are heavily vested in it now, like, has there been some things where with your experience and racing and riding and everything, is there some things that you think that would be better if they're changed, or do you have any opinions on where you'd like to see the future go of the riding, or is there something that have you had any thoughts on the sport?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because everyone has their opinion.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's what we want.
I definitely like the idea of the open bike and 450 thing that everyone's kind of leaning towards. Like I heard, Matt saying like, we'll do whatever 450 to open. It's for the crowd for sure. Just from talking to people and trying to get people out there, everyone wants to see the open bikes.
Yes.
They kind of get pushed around. They get pushed late. I mean, you guys, you've been to the races where you watch everyone line up, and then it drags on so long. People are leaving, and you're like, wait, like we're about to start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So I think the 2 open bikes would be cool. The 450 class is definitely fun. It's definitely just from when I got into it compared to what it is now. It's definitely became like a high money motor class.
right.
Yeah.
Everyone's always chasing that extra horsepower. I think as a sport, you would probably get more pull if you were focused more on the big bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is you have to be so invested to build one or buy
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But I mean, when you look at it, it's, not saying I would compare Hillclimbs more to like drag racing or something because everything's, crazy motors, custom chassis, all this stuff. But if you were to compare it to Supercross, 450 is more of like it's the lights class.
Right.
Mhm.
It's kind of the get into it class, and the open class is the
Yeah.
450 class.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder too, like it's been really cool watching Matt's involvement in California, and it's not just him, but he's the face of it. But getting the amateur in District 36 and getting
Yeah.
that whole series going, because where we grew up in the Midwest here, amateur racing is really big, and it has been my whole life. And for 70 years almost, there's been a big faction of amateur racing. And when you have that amateur racing that's really popular, I don't think it's as important to have a 450 pro class, right? Because you're going to
Yeah.
be pulling from people that have already had that, where, it would be badass if someday, like you said, the pro class was just pro bikes, right? Where
Yeah.
it was just the freaks. Like, you ain't going to go watch the tractor pull with the little pop 806.
Yeah.
These are all badass MFers that you're going to come watch, right? Like, I
Yeah.
think that would be cool. And if we all had that big amateur series in our area, there's a defining line now. The amateur series are the Groms, the people learning, the smaller displacement bikes, the knobby tires.
Yeah.
When you see Pro Climb, it's crazy fuels, crazy wheels. Like I think that'd be kind of cool, but that's just
Mhm.
me.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you look at France, what they do in France, it's
Yeah.
open bikes, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the 450 class is a great it's cool to get people into the sport. It's a great
Right.
like transition class. Um
Mhm.
Definitely I know East Coast does it different, but West Coast I think, when I got into it, I had a stock bike, never been up a hill.
Yep.
I'm pro.
Right.
I signed up for pro. That's
Yeah.
definitely different.
Right.
Um, or everything motor you got to qualify, but I know back east you have to qualify.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
Um,
have to be or
the,
just be vetted. But yeah.
yeah, the 450 class could definitely be like a stepping stone like that. Um,
Right.
it'd be nice if I know Heavy was talking about like getting a couple bikes that you can rent or whatever.
Right.
I would assume people would have the same problem I had. As soon as you get on one, you're like, oh well, we got to have one of these.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what like would be I mean, it'd be cool because it's hard. You want to introduce people to hill climb, but it's really only really fun when you're on a good open bike. But
yeah,
somebody can't just like find a good open bike to use. So it's like if all the guys instead like I'm guilty of it too. I had an extra open bike. I should just bringing it and whoring it out to somebody every race. But then you get selfish. You don't want to wreck the bike. And you don't want to deal with fixing it when someone else wrecks it and blah blah blah. But it's like there's enough people that have a spare open bike that could do that. But it's also pretty risky and tough to just lend them out too. I mean, it's like you're gonna be in the same boat too, where you got two sick open bikes and you don't just want some idiot hopping on them and trashing them every
Mhm.
weekend either.
you you definitely got to vet the guy that's on it. I mean, you know, that's like I said, it's especially in the West Coast. You have. I want to go back to the East Coast and see what that's all about. But the West Coast, you have a certain amount of guys, and I remember talking to Brett up there at the Washington Nationals.
Yep.
I had never hit the ramps before, and I remember the first year I went, he was like, everyone's telling me, okay, we're going straight into ramps, and I'm like looking around, and I'm like, no, like, can I pick who I jump next to? Like, and then I'm like negotiating with them on the line, like, can we start over here and knock it down to 16 and then move over here? Like, I don't. Um,
Uh, uh,
so yeah, I mean, you definitely have to vet who. The other thing when I started, there was it wasn't wild. I don't know how you would work it around, but bike sharing.
Mm-hmm.
When the French guys come over, there's a little bit of leniency against it. You can
Yep.
go out, rip around some bikes. If it's not like a set in stone thing, it's like a one time, hey, let's give them a ride,
Mm-hmm.
just to pull some more people in. But yeah, it's also kind of weird that when you come over, moto is moto. You have the same classes set across every promoter.
Yep.
And then you come to Hillclimb and everyone's got their idea of what's best.
It's really tough.
Yeah, and then we show up and it's like, okay, well, I don't have that bike. I don't have that bike. Well, I can
Mm-hmm.
make this bike work for that class, but it's not really what I built it for.
Yeah.
I think if everyone could get on like a standardized class system, that'd be great. You got a lot of egos pushing around. They're gonna have to
Yes.
give to get if they want it to go to the next level.
It would be amazing if every series could just sit down and have a meeting and agree on 3 or 4
Yeah.
classes and keep the same class structure between all of them
I
and
mean,
just keep the rules the same. So everybody that at least gets into pro can go to any race and be set up to do as well as they need to or want to do, you
yeah,
know?
that happened in moto up here and with the local promoters. They had the same classes, but they were running so many races on top of each other that it started thinning out. And what ends up happening is it hurts the promoter's pocket. The guys don't
Mhm.
really want to race because you're not following a series. That series doesn't really mean as much because not everyone was there. So what they did is they all got together, and there's 3 promoters that run different tracks, and it's a series. So you onesie twosie through all of them, like kind of like you were talking about.
Right.
But that is the series to run up here for moto. It'd be cool in Hillclimb if we could get something like that. Maybe start at Carnegie, hit Washington, hop over, do Great American, do one of the East Coast rounds. That's a series.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Keep one premier series with the premier events, because right now we don't have any one series that has all premier events in it. There's 4 series that each have a couple of premier events in them.
Yeah.
And that hurts too. I mean, it's like you go do AMA West and you start off the season racing Washington, and then you end the season in a dusty field in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So that's also been hard coming from track. Is you show up the hill and you're like, where's the water?
Yeah.
Like, let's get some water down. So I think it can use some adjustment, but it's Rockwell had their class or their series, and then Skips kind of did almost the same thing for the classes. And then when I went and did the Great American, it was all kind of the same stuff still, and now it seems like we're kind of getting branched apart. AMA West and East have different classes.
Right.
I'm not really a big. I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate me for this, but I don't really see a point of the 500 class or 7. It's turning into a big bore 450 class.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have that bike with 30 less CCs. Why do we need to race this twice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where
I see that too.
The pull for me is open. The pull for the spectator is open. Like, let's figure out a way how to run 2 classes on that. Whether it's, East Coast has twins and or Premier or Open, and then Matt's thinking about doing something else like that. I just think it'd be a better thing to hold the crowd. One, it's just there's only a few bike builders, and Heavy is very hard to get to. He has a lot of bikes on the track, so it would take a while to get there. But
and I think like in the short time that I've been going to a bunch of the races too, is like we've upped our game and our pit presence.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, I love it. Like when your bikes are sitting there, Mark, I love watching the people walk by and, see 2 guys pointing and like, oh, I wonder what that motor is.
Yeah.
That's fucking badass. Right. I mean, people love that shit. I mean, we had a chopper show a couple miles from Allison. There's like 1,000 people there just to look at a bunch of choppers. It's like people love custom stuff. And now we're starting to get it where we can showcase it. When you're at Carnegie and that pro row there with all the tents and all the bikes, it's epic, right? I mean, it is so cool walking down. And if you want to see a Gixxer, if you want to see a 1290, 1190, a Buell, they're all sitting there and beautiful, And I think like that is a really cool thing that people will come just to look at that shit. We watched the guy, what did he drive 2 hours to look at your Buell because he had a Super Cruiser on order? It's like that stuff's so cool, and that's what our sport can offer because it's something original, right? Like there's only one 1290s like yours in the world, Mark, right? It's like that's what's so freaking cool about what we offer.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's definitely we ride all day long, literally all day long. And you run the 450, you run the 500, it's whatever. But when they start lighting the open bikes off, people start walking to the pits.
Yep.
And it's
every
like,
time,
dude, I don't, that's the draw.
It was never more evident to me than the very first year Logan went to X Games. My wife and I flew out there just to watch. We were just in the crowd. We weren't in his pit. We were just in the crowd. And we were at Buttermilk. It's nighttime. And they start lighting those fucking bikes up.
And it was late too.
It was late. Everybody was leaving, going to the buses to leave. Yep. And when they start lighting those buses up, freaking 4,000 people turned, maybe about 4,000, 2,000 people all turned around and ran to the bottom of the pipe. Like it was, and that was just a couple open bikes there. It was so cool. And they were snowboard hippies. This isn't like motorcycle people, right? Like it was awesome. Like people were, they just thought it was so freaking cool hearing these bikes, and they sounded so freaking badass
Yeah.
going up
Yeah,
that
they
half
did.
pipe too. It was epic. It was so cool. But I mean, that's when I kind of saw like, wow, we have something unique here. Like
Yeah.
this isn't the crowd. These aren't people that got baggers at home, right? Like
No,
this
yeah.
is a completely foreign crowd to this, and they loved it. It was cool,
Well,
so
I mean, even if, like you're saying, if you're not into motorsports whatsoever, you have no idea what's going on. You hear the open bike start crackling, and you're like, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
what is
Yep.
this?
that's not legal. That's the
Yeah.
first thing you say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool.
It is.
And that's what our sport has that we can. That's why it's been around for so long, is because of that. So it's pretty badass.
Yeah. I hit up Logan a couple days ago, and I'm, we're kind of throwing around the idea of putting on a race.
Cool.
But it's it's the same thing. Like, the thing we keep going back to is, what classes are we running?
Right.
Yep. Because it's you want people that have stuff that want to ride. Because my initial thought was, we're going France style open bikes all day long.
Right.
Let's do a bracket of whatever, 4 or 5 runs.
Yep.
But then, like we're talking about, you start looking at it, and if you're going to be the promoter, it's okay. What are we doing with the money?
Mm-hmm.
Now you only have 35 guys, and I will say
That's
that
where
is
it's
different
hard.
in moto, and moto is only $30 or $20 to sign up for the class. Hillclimb's, you're a lot more to sign up for the class.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
you definitely get some out of that, but then you're just relying on the spectator pull.
Yes.
And like Logan, I don't know if you threw out that number, if you were thinking that was for a day, but
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of hoping we could be around a class like that. Per class, get paid that.
That would be sweet with what I sent you.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of looking is, and I do know a bunch of people around here that have businesses that want to write off.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I could start in that, and then, I think another big thing that, if for sponsors and just people getting out and spectators, it'd be huge to get something, even if it's, they were talking about doing the Peterson Cup. If
Mm-hmm.
we could pull TV in just one time,
Right.
Yep.
I remember watching the Carnegie Climbs, watching the Widowmaker, all that stuff used to be on TV. I think it'd be a big deal.
Yep.
And nowadays, like, you don't even need TV. Like when we were talking with
stream.
Jamie Deere, like he has that racetrack. If 1320 video comes, they
Yeah.
have 3.2 million subscribers that are going to see that. If you can just get a big channel, or not even a big, but a moderate channel to come and give coverage. That's what Jamie was saying. Like, he's not got ABC there, but 3.2 million people are going to watch these videos because they want to see it. Right. So it's like, if we can get something like that if you host an event, it doesn't have to be, ESPN to get a huge impact. It could be something like that to get a big payback.
There, but there is, you can get a definite big payback off of streaming something, pull people in. It is just nice. I mean, if you could get on a channel or something like that,
right?
They replay it. It's in the bars. It's at dinner. It's at restaurants. It's wherever. That's it's constantly. They replay old stuff.
Yep.
And no matter if it is just someone that's streaming that puts it on YouTube or that, I just wonder. I know we keep trying to get people out, but money talks.
Yep.
Do you have to pay them to come out? Okay, if that's what it is for the first.
Right.
How many ever until they they have a certain amount of people watching it. It's just kind of some stuff we've been digging into.
Some events, like some of the local events there, or what I call local, but like we used to have a race, still kind of going on, down in Logan, Iowa. And how many spectators were there, Logan? 2,500 probably?
Something like that, yeah.
And
huge.
They made tons of money, they weren't making $1 million, but as a club, they paid their insurance, they paid their taxes for the land, they got a bunch of money. 2,500 spectators buys a lot of hot dogs, buys a lot of pot, beer, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then you go in Wisconsin, like Kewaskum, Wisconsin, at Josh Mueller's home race over there. It's at a ski place in Wisconsin. They've been having it there for probably 50 years, I suppose. So they have a long history. They get a ton of bikes. They probably get 800 to 1,000 road bikes that come in, but their classes open. They have like 3 pro classes and basically a stock class, right, Logan? Is that kind of how they do it?
Like that.
So, and they're not typical classes, but there's something for everybody. The local guys can come ride their stock bikes. The hill's crazy steep, so the stock bikes have a hard time. It's always awesome. Someone will put a knobby tire on a frickin' Gixxer 600 street bike and try to do it and make a fool out of themselves, and it's super fun to watch. But then they got people like Logan, Luke, Josh Mueller that come and put on a frickin' show with their pro bikes. It's awesome. You know, it's cool, and they make money. That's why they do it year after year. They pay well. The riders all get paid well from the day. It's awesome, you know?
Well, yeah, that's kind of, that's the trade-off of when you're thinking about what to do is, yes, you want to have the amateurs. You have to have amateurs. That's the future. That does run it out a little bit more. And then the hill. I mean, we have some buddies around here that have some property that could be, Widowmaker or worse, quote unquote, waiting earlier.
Yep.
But then you run into, okay, now we're going to Invitational,
Yeah.
Like we don't want to break the dudes off at the same time.
Right.
But I think, there's something, I think if there was more eyes on it, it would get definitely more of a draw.
Right.
Because, even around here, you talk about Carnegie Hillclimbs and everyone's like, they're still doing those? Like, yeah, we do 4 a year. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely something we've been looking into.
Exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, let us know if there's something we can help, Mark. If you guys are going to end up trying to we want to help promote. We want to get as many fast MFers there as possible to put on a hell of a show. That's what you always want in every event is the most fast guys possible. That makes the best show you can ever have. But we're running a little long here, and it's been a minute, and we have. Oh, hang on, Luke. You want to just hit it?
Rolling smooth and bam, it hits. Something in your sprocket throwing fits. A pebble, a problem, some petty pain. Time to sound off what's caught in your chain.
So this is a segment, Mark. We talked before. Listen, this we're not trying to, we all know about world hunger and peace, and we don't go political or not. This is just that little thing that might be irritating you. And I have a very common one that I'm going to tap on again. But I recently had a birthday, and I'm going to say right now, getting old it just sucks. I was like, God damn it. I had all these hopes, all these dreams, right? You wanted to do all this stuff. And now it's like your damn time's almost out. It's like you just get going and, your whole life, everybody's telling you you're too young to do this, you're too young to do this, and there's no middle ground, and all of a sudden you're too effing old, right? So it's just like getting old sucks, all right? I'm not even old yet, but I am. And I'm just saying it's terrible. Just be lucky that you're not my age. So that's my caught in your chain. I'm sick of getting old, damn it.
I can agree with that.
No, you're not old, Tom. You're not old.
But man, it's crazy.
I know.
It feels like just yesterday I was graduating college in 22 and we just were driving around racing all summer.
I know.
It's crazy.
Time goes so fast. And when I talk to my father-in-law, who's got a few years on me, he's like, it just goes faster. It's like the older you get, the faster time goes. And I just remember those long ass summers when you were 16 or 17 that, it just felt like it would go on forever. It's like, it's January. I've already looked past summer. Like I can see it, it's like, what's going to happen. Just boom, gone. So getting old, that's caught in my chain. I'm done with it.
It's rough.
Yep. Luke, anything? You got anything caught in your chain over the break?
This one's a couple weeks old, but since we haven't been recorded, I haven't been able to share it, but just baggage handlers at airports. I had a hell of an ordeal. It wasn't this shoot, but last shoot. This was after getting delayed an hour and a half on the tarmac, waiting to get off, but waiting for my bag. I see it coming down the chute, and it's completely ripped open like a butterfly, wide open, and it's sitting on top of all my stuff that's emptied out on the thing moving down. Like
What?
It looked like somebody ripped it open, purposely put it down, and like watched two buddies like, oh, watch this. This is gonna be funny. Just like everyone's looking around. So it comes to me, finally pick it up. All the shit's still on the conveyor belt, and I'm already kind of crabby about it. So it's like knee high, and I kind of sling it onto the ground. Just makes a sonic boom. So the whole airport, I feel like, just looks right at me. Go back to the tarmac and start scooping up shit. Some grandma comes by with like a huge, like, I don't even know, 30,000 gallon bag that she just has in her purse, opens up, starts stuffing shit in there. Go back a second time, and I was like, I'm not coming back here, because I'm like trying to follow it along, grabbing shit, and it was all my sock, underwear, and t-shirt compartment. All my camera gear was luckily tucked away in another zipper pouch in there.
Oh,
so it was all like my loose shit. Grab it up again, the last handle, and like something gets caught on the things, which I thought the whole thing of it is they're not supposed to pinch, for kids' fingers or whatever. Pinches something. I don't even look what it is. I just leave it. So I probably have underwear that's getting swung around there, socks or a t-shirt, whatever it was.
Poor
I was
bastard
like,
that had to take care of those underwear.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it was the guy that unloaded it.
Right.
Figured he'd come back in later and picked it up. So I took 2 trips, stuffed in the bag, and just kept walking. But it was just ridiculous. Like the guy had to have just thought it was funny. And
wouldn't you think they have like a big box? If it tears open, they could throw it in a big box for you.
Yeah, I thought that's what they're supposed to do too. Because
bastards.
sometimes you see that and they're like in a loose box, but no, this one was just upside down, just on top of the pile of shit on the conveyor belt. And then I get to the rental car after, and it's a new Buick that's got to figure out like the drive part. Could not figure out how to start it and put it into drive, and it was like on the blinker. What any other car is like up here. So I was just it was a whole ordeal.
Oh yeah, like my van. Probably.
Yeah, but
it
was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel for you, man. That's an apt one. Screw you, baggage handlers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't have anything important, but if I would have, I don't know, just do your job better.
Right.
That's all I got.
Yeah, they're probably making $120,000 a year just to move bags, right? It's like, do it good, It's like, damn you, bastards.
It's like I tell the kid at work that I help with. I said it costs nothing to care.
Yeah,
that's my line with them.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mark, anything? I mean, you seem like such a happy-go-lucky guy. Does anything ever get in your chain? Anything get in your skin?
No, I mean, not really.
No?
No, I mean, just not have enough money to buy new toys, really. That's it. I'm looking at all this stuff that I want, and I just keep cruising around online. Like I said, I'm getting back into painting helmets, and I loaded the cart up 2 nights ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can use some candies. I'm gonna use some pearls. And I load the cart up. I'm like, how the fuck is it $740 worth of paint to paint a helmet?
Oh my God.
Like, I could buy another helmet.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
yeah,
I
paint
mean,
is ridiculous.
We're all in that
Paint's
position.
crazy. Yeah,
It
that
is.
sucks.
Yeah.
What's this now? You're back into painting helmets? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I'm getting back into painting. I have way too many hobbies, but yeah, I'm getting back into painting stuff. So broke out the airbrush and the gun, started playing around with it a little bit. I got one of my helmets all sanded up, taped up, ready to go.
Sick.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I'm going to make this cool job be way cheaper than sending out the tagger or something. And I looked at the paint and I'm like, maybe it won't be. I don't know. I always learn how to do stuff to save money, and it ends up being just about even.
Right. Well, maybe if you have extra paint, let me know. Maybe I'll pay for the paint and you can paint mine up too and make it worth your while.
Yeah, for sure. I'll make it all Bastody.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. That'd be awesome.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
My thing is, if I can't go fast, I might as well look fast.
I've been there for 20 years, buddy.
Right? Either.
That's cool. Tom, you got anything?
Man, I'm just, I do have something, and we're not going to get political, but it's about politics. I'm just so fucking sick of everything having to be related to politics. You can't do a damn thing
I
without
almost
someone
said that.
making it political. Fuck.
I'm like,
And I mean, it's especially bad in the Twin Cities right now, just with
Right.
all that shit going on. But it's like you just cannot do anything fun. You can't go out in public. You can't go on social media. You can't do a damn thing without hearing about all these crazy ass old rich white dudes that are out of touch. I'm just fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
Just like, why can't we just enjoy life and everyone ignore the politics, because they hardly affect your life anyways. Obviously to some people it does, but
Right.
it's like, man, at the end of the day, it really has very little bearing on your life, and you can't even open your eyes or take a breath without getting involved in it somehow. It's just like, we went to this brewery tour on the weekend, and of course one of the breweries had to have this big 11x17 sheet complaining about how hard their community is being hit by ice. And it's just it's like, don't you think people might want to just go and have fun and not worry about something like that, or not think about something like that? It's like, we're watching the news this morning when I'm at the hotel. It's like, fuck, it's just draining. I'm over it.
This isn't right or wrong, but when I was in my early 30s, I was like really into politics and paying attention, reading all the time. I was just always pissed, right? Because it's politics. The whole goal is for you to be upset. And one day I said, F it. I'm just going to pay the tax and I'm not going to worry about it, right? I'm just going to be glad I can pay the tax and move on. I've been so much happier, right? Like I have just been so much happier that I'm like, I understand it's fucked up, but guess what? I'm glad I can pay the tax. I'm going to pay it and not worry about it, right? Because I couldn't help being mad all the time. It's awful.
Anyone that brings it up to me, I'm just like, ignorance is bliss, and it works for me, so that I can stay happier that way.
That's
right.
Well, welcome to California, man. You're like, what? The sun's out. We can go ride. Never mind. It's what it is.
You know the memes where they have the it's the what's the guy that builds that boat out of the Flex Seal or whatever? The Flex Seal. And they'll have like the meme, and it's like the big hole, and there's like water dumping it out. And it's like life's problems, and then he just takes it and he slaps it. And it says dirt bike or whatever. You know what? I found out that big piece of tape can be coyote hunting trip. You know, like work problems, everything else. Wham! Go on a coyote hunting trip for a couple days. Yes, I'm better. You know, it's like I just need to be a redneck for a couple days and I can move on. You know, it's like, oh man,
anything.
That's awesome. Well, damn it. Good times. Well, boys, we went way late. Mark, I'm so sorry for keeping you so long. This has been an absolute thrill for us.
Thank you.
You are such a special rider, and our sport thrives with talented people like you. Bring your time, bring your energy, and God damn it, is it just fun watching you ride? And when you and your dad started building that 1290 and getting that just beautiful freaking bike going, it has just been a thrill for all of us. And we just want as much of the Bradens as we can get in this sport. And if there's anything from our little podcast that we can ever do to help you, we want to help. We love having you in the sport. And it's just been so fun to watch you acclimate, keep getting better. And your best days are ahead of you in this sport. I can't wait to see when you apex and I'm watching you just dominate on that 1290 or maybe 890. We'll see. But good days ahead. And thank you, buddy, for all your time and energy tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Well, boys, next week we'll do it again. Mark, check in whenever you want, okay?
So
we're out of here. Later, man.
One day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king, and my papa told me it's okay to sit when shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through